Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I can't really say good evening. It's an evening, that's for sure. I'm not even going to waste time explaining. I'm just going to turn you guys around and then explain. We are currently underneath a severe thunderstorm warning with the possibilities of hail, which is why we are back here in the backyard with Jared's truck. We moved it from the front to here under the trees to kind of give it a little bit of protection. The blanket is in place to guard the driver's side window, and the board is just for a little bit of extra protection. There is at least one tornado confirmed on the ground near the Oklahoma line. There is a rotation headed our way, so that's always lovely. We are currently prepping just in case we have to either hunker down here at the house or have to make our way to the school.
Making our way to the school. And then
that's fair.
We just positioned the truck.
Yeah, that's fair. Never mind. So we will be hunkering here at the house with the doggos. If anything goes down, I will keep you guys up to date, and I'll let you guys know what's going on periodically as the night continues.
I think we've got a tornado on the ground now. We're getting pretty clear indication. We've got Jeff and Jim headed this direction. They're not too far away. And we've got Damon on the storms farther south. But I want to take a close look at this. We're seeing, again, debris getting lost. The storm's occasionally producing tornadoes. What I think we're going to have happen here, you see this red box? That's going to become a purple box, I think, here shortly, because this is basically confirmation of a tornado on the ground right on the Adair, Washington County border. Okay, here's Highway 59, right? Yeah, that's Highway 59, a little bit south of Summers. Okay, so here's Summers, here's Lincoln. This is coming toward Lincoln. In Lincoln, we need to be in our safe spot right now. Okay, right now. Let's get in that safe spot. It's just off to your west-southwest. Here's Dutch Mills. So it's basically between Summers and Dutch Mills, about to cross Highway 59. Okay, here's Cane Hill, here's Lincoln. This is 62, basically a little bit south of where 62 and 59 meet. That's where you're going to have the tornado cross Highway 59, right there in the middle, right between Summers and Dutch Mills. So if you're in Dutch Mills or you're in Summers, not as much of a concern. Now you can see that went down a little bit there. We had some bright yellows right there, now kind of more oranges. It looks like it probably produced another really quick tornado, and then maybe that goes away. But this storm has been, there it is, now it goes to purple. So that's a confirmed tornado. Yeah, so they're seeing all the same stuff we're seeing in the National Weather Service. But this storm keeps producing tornadoes, and then the tornado goes away, and that happens a lot. You know, tornadoes will drop, and then they'll go away, and they'll drop, and they'll go away. And that's been happening a lot with this storm, but this is going to come right up 62. Lincoln, even if the tornado has gone away, in an instant it could come back again, and this has been a tornado producer the last hour or so. So Lincoln, safe spot right now. Prairie Grove, we got a little bit more time to work with here, but I wouldn't chance it too much. You'll want to be getting into your safe spot in Prairie Grove here pretty shortly as well.
So everything you guys just saw on the weather feed was up north of me and Jared, up toward Fayetteville area, northwest Arkansas. Thank the Lord we live in the River Valley right now, but we're still not out of the bad weather yet. I'm going to continue to, keep you guys updated as best as I can. There's some lightning flash just now. Oh man, here, let me run you guys outside and let you get a good look at the weather. As you guys can see, it is quite dark out here. So fingers crossed that we're gonna be okay, because if it decides to if it decides to come a mess, man, over here where we are, I don't know what we're gonna do, because we're gonna be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. but I'm risking my life being out here with an electronic in a thunderstorm, so I'm gonna go back inside.
Hopefully Lincoln was listening. Hopefully everybody there got in their safe spot. I think most people probably did. Greenland, we don't have much time. Let's get in our safe spot right now. All right, Jeff Dixon, we've got Jeff's feed loaded up here. Let's go ahead and pull him in real quick. All right, they're headed in this direction. Believe in Farmington right now. They're headed that way. Okay, we'll come back to that as they get a little bit closer. Boy, they're going to be able to show us exactly. Now, I don't want to lose sight of this storm over Lafleur County either. Up from Fort Smith, south side is where we'll be able to see maybe a little bit. Let's do that. All right, that's looking toward the southwest, toward the storm. So we're looking toward that area right here, and when what I'm seeing in the distance right here, this is where we're going to have to watch in Lafleur County. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. Nothing right now. It doesn't have a tornado warning, but as this approaches Fort Smith, Greenwood area, that's the area we're going to be watching. Tulsa or Fort Smith?
Fort Smith.
Yeah, there it is. Wow. Prairie Grove coming in. All right, and right now, Jeff and Jim are about to come into Prairie Grove. All right, they're looking at this thing. Let's go to them. They're located right here. Okay, so they're kind of coming down this spot right here, and I imagine they're probably going to get off on some side roads here pretty soon so that they can kind of keep working their way a little bit farther south. Greenland, this is coming your way. Right now it's around Hogeye, between Prairie Grove, Hogeye, Hubbard, Cane Hill. Just crossed over Highway 62. Confirmed tornado on the ground just south of Prairie Grove. Confirmed tornado on the ground. Greenland in our safe spot right now. Okay. We've also got this West Fork. I would say, look, in West Fork we're getting some really intense winds picking up right now too. Look, 1 second here. 80-mile-per-hour winds being estimated in Greenland. That's with this area right here where the winds are just bulging out right here. So Greenland, you've got both the straight line winds that could be a problem and the tornado. West Fork, that goes for you too. You want to be indoors and away from windows in West Fork. I'd almost say get in your safe spot in West Fork. Okay. Multiple areas of concern. The debris signature just south of Prairie Grove. All right, Fayetteville's got the sirens going. This is from south side of Fort Smith. We're still watching that.
That confirmed tornado warning now for into Madison County now.
Okay, so confirmed tornado warning into Madison County. Fayetteville, let's take shelter right now. If you're in Fayetteville, we don't have a confirmed tornado exactly in your area. The confirmed concern that we've had has been just a little bit south of there. But Greenland, we need to be in our safe spot. Fayetteville, we need to be in our safe spot too.
We have severe weather rolling in right now. There is at least 2 confirmed tornadoes, as you guys saw in the severe weather footage.
3 rotations now, 1 confirmed tornado.
Say that again.
3 rotations, 1 confirmed tornado.
There is 3 possible now, 2 possible, 1 confirmed. So I'm expecting the tornado sirens here in Crawford County to be sounding pretty soon. Surprised they kind of haven't already, but then again, one hasn't really touched down or been near us yet. But it is getting really bad out here, and there is a confirmed tornado touchdown somewhere, not here yet, but we do have at least one system that could produce a pretty nasty tornado headed directly for us. Like, it's gonna go directly over top of us. So I don't know, guys. We're gonna see. We're gonna ride this out. I mean, as you guys can clearly see behind me, it's getting pretty nasty out here. So I'm gonna head back inside. I've still got the storm recording going. So we're gonna jump back into that.
Right over Greenland, I tell you, it's just still been showing. Oh, look at this. Here we go. This might be it. Look at this. That might be the tornado as it crosses I-49. It's hard to tell, or at least it's in that vicinity. Wow. This is at Greenland. This is at Greenland. Exit 58. All right. Yeah, that thing is, yeah, that's crossing the interstate right there. Also tracking a storm. Again, this is the one approaching Fort Smith, and we're kind of looking, I believe, in the right area. Let's pan that a little bit to the left, actually. I'm going to pan that to the left. Oh, my goodness. And let's go over to RDOT. Look at what happened to our RDOT camera. It got pushed around, and it's still getting pushed around by those winds. Now, it may be that might be getting moved by the Arkansas Department of Transportation. All right, we'll go back to this. Oh my goodness, we got to go back to this. Look at that. The wind's still really blowing around here. They've moved it back to the north. My goodness. All right. Oh, wow. Is that the tornado on the ground? That is hard to say. Is that a rain-wrapped tornado on the ground right there? That's the question. If it is, that is indeed massive. See if we can get, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there is definitely circulation in there.
Can you remind us where?
All right, this is from Fort Smith, and take a look right here, okay? That looks like it may be a tornado on the ground. Hard to say. That could be rain dropping right there. There's definitely rain in there. Zoom back out again.
People are asking just what was the area again?
Yeah.
We were looking
Yeah.
at Fort Smith.
All right. So, we got to get back to radar over here. 1 second. So the area we're looking is around Pensacola. This is right over Pensacola where we were just looking, okay? So the area on the video is right there. It's that signature. And we are getting what appears to be a drop in CC values there, though we've been seeing that off and on, so it's hard to say what's exactly real, what's not. But that's looking toward Pensacola. All right, we got to go back. And for some reason, there's a lot of lightning coming out of that thing. There is a ton of lightning. And that's usually an indicator that the mezzo, wow, my goodness. Again, we need to be in our safe spot right now. All right? As this comes into Bonanza, Pensacola. All right? We need to be in that safe spot right now. and I'll get back over the green screen. Okay, but there's a lot. We've got to move around here. Cameras, we got to move around, go back and forth between cameras, all of that. So, see if we can get that to stop. Nope, not working.
Damon is near Fort Smith Airport.
All right, Damon's near the Fort Smith Airport. This right here is, I think, what we're seeing. Let's go back to our camera. Again, the camera is having trouble focusing right now. Looks a little bit different from what we were seeing earlier. Back up around Greenland, the wind's still blowing around right there. All right, I want to go back to radar right here.
In Fayetteville?
Have we heard anything about a tornado on the ground in Fayetteville?
Yeah, we have confirmed the National Weather Service that it has crossed on the south side of Fayetteville.
Yeah, and now let's go back to our tornado here approaching Goshen. All right, we've got two. We've got two on the ground. We got to give each as much attention as we possibly can here. All right, yeah, absolutely. So, if you are just now joining us here, folks, we've got multiple tornadoes on the ground. We've got one that just crossed the south side of Fayetteville, okay? Now it's moving toward the area between Wyman and Elkins, okay? We zoom in a little bit here. We can, and do we still have that drop in CC value? We do.
Look at the most
right
recent.
there.
Yes, go back one step in the scan, and you can see that it was really.
It was much
it was
brighter
much,
earlier?
Much
Okay.
brighter one previous scan.
Okay, and I can do that. All right. We'll go back one. Yeah, wow. I mean, that thing lofted a lot of debris up on the southeast side of Fayetteville. Lot of debris on the southeast side of Fayetteville. It still has a tornado on the ground, we think, as this comes through Wyman, Goshen area, okay? And this is coming toward Mayfield, all right? All right, how fast is this thing still moving?
Northeast at 50 miles per hour.
Okay, so it's changed a little bit. Goshen area, it's coming right up on top of you right now. Buckeye, Whitner, 755, Hinesville, 757, Clifty, 806. All right, so we'll see how this affects Huntsville. It certainly could, but Goshen, this is on top of you right now. There's still a good bit of circulation with it, and we still have that debris signature. So Goshen, we need to be in our safe spot. Buckeye, Mayfield, Hinesville. Let's go ahead and get in our safe spot right now as well. All right. Now let's go back to the storm that we were watching here in Fort Smith, and the camera's struggling a little bit here to remain in focus. Boy, those clouds are moving fast, aren't they? All right, that's the area of concern, and it's hard to tell right at this moment if what we're looking at right there is really from a tornado or is it straight line winds. You know, I don't necessarily see a ton of circulation right there. It's forward motion more than anything else. But very fast, very fast. Again, this is going to cause some damage. In the area we're talking about, again, it just came through Pecola, coming into Bonanza right now. Jenny Lynn going to be after that. Greenwood, you're going to get in on this the very strong straight line winds at the very least. Fort Chaffee, this is going to hit Fort Chaffee pretty hard. Let's be in our safe spot right now in all these areas. Jenny Lynn, Crescent, Buell, White Bluff, Bonanza, over to Greenwood. Let's get in that safe spot. Okay. coming right toward the radar. And we can see it here. We've been watching it. And when it was over Picola, we may have been looking at the tornado itself. And now we've got that circulation right in through here. Okay? Very intense winds. You know, radar, this is right next to the radar, and the radar is estimating 75 mile per hour winds. All right, so again, Greenwood over to Jenny Lind, White Bluff Crescent, and Fort Chaffee. This is about to hit you very hard. This is a massive storm, capable of producing another very large tornado. Okay? And now we're not going to be able to see much from here on out from our camera there on the south side of Fort Smith. It's gotten overtaken. All right, we're going to keep going back and forth here. Do we have anything? Can we show anything from Jeff and Jim? Okay, we've got Jeff here. Jeff and Jim, I believe they're back in the Farmington area again. I'm not 100% certain on that, so we'll get off of that. All right, anything new, Brandon, or William, from the National Weather Service on either of these storms?
No. Other than the storms in northeast Leflore County, they're still tracking off to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. But no other updates in that.
Okay. And not seeing the same level of tornado potential at this exact moment as it comes into Madison County, but there's still a lot of concern. So Hinesville, let's still be in our safe spot. We know we had a tornado on the south side of Fayetteville earlier in the Greenland area as well, kind of between Greenland and Fayetteville. It looks like it was probably at its maximum southeast side of Fayetteville. And we were warning folks on that. That's still a concerning storm. That's past, let me zoom out again here, folks, but that's past Fayetteville now. The tornado threat is now past Fayetteville. We still have the really intense straight line winds, but what we don't have necessarily is the circulation directly over Fayetteville. That has passed on off to the east. So, and look, at this point, hopefully we've got folks kind of headed. Can we get the storm tracker headed toward the south side of Fayetteville? I'm not sure who's producing back there, but anyone back there? Let's make sure we've got the storm tracker headed toward the south side of Fayetteville. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, back to this storm coming into Barling. They are heading that way right now. Let me know when they get closer. They're going to find damage. On the south side of Fayetteville, there will be damage there. And I'm wondering if we're getting pictures. Are we getting any pictures?
I haven't seen any on you local. I haven't seen any yet.
Oh, what is this? What? I'm seeing something from Jeff's. Can you add?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly where he's at right
now. I was just seeing something from Jeff's live stream that looked like damage. Mm-hmm. Could you ask him if that's what he was seeing? Because if it is, it'd be nice. Oh, you know what? They're closer to the south side of Fayetteville than the storm tracker is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Is that what you're having them do?
Yeah, they're. Last time I checked, they were on the south side. On School Avenue.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out this address that they've given me right now. It's not very clear.
Well, where we need them to go would be. They need to be in Greenland. They need to really kind of go. I mean, this thing passed right near Baum Walker Stadium. I mean, it would have been just south of Baum Walker. So they need to go to the area southeast of Baum Walker. Have them head in that direction. Southeast of Baum Walker.
Okay.
Okay. So they might get there a little bit faster. This thing is not really, boy, it's not, it doesn't have the same circulation it had just moments ago. It really doesn't as it comes into Hinesville, which is good to see. We're not seeing the same debris signatures that we were seeing before. There's still some right around Crossroads. Hartwell over to Huntsville. This thing may still have potential. Huntsville, let's get in our safe spot right now. It's not the same storm as it was moments ago, but it still has potential to produce a tornado. Huntsville over to Hartwell. Let's get in our safe spot right now, along, of course, with Hinesville, Buckeye, Wesley, Crossroads. All these areas need to be in their safe spot right now. Let's go back to the storm in the River Valley, where, this storm, my goodness, it's just, I'm going to pull up, I want to make sure I pull up the Kelly Highway camera here. Let's pull this up. That camera went down too. We've had a lot of our cameras go down as these storms have come over. So if we switch, well, we can just go over. We can go back to our Arkansas Children's Northwest. Now this is just going to look like a bunch of rain, but we can move that around a little bit. And very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. When you look. You look at the trees, you don't see them moving around a ton, so that's good to see. Let's head back over. Is the National Weather Service saying anything new about this storm as it comes into Barling? Right now, Barling, we need to be in our safe spot for sure.
No, it's moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour.
I mean,
and it's capable of producing a tornado like we're talking about in $half size hail.
They don't have the confirmed tornado right now, but
no.
Oh man, right next to the radar, you're getting near 100 mile per hour wind estimates.
By Fort Chaffee,
85. This is going to cause a lot of damage. Fort Chaffee area, again, we need to be in our safe spot. I hope you are. Fort Chaffee, Central City. This thing's got.
Looks like there's debris signature if you look at it just south of.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Now, because it's so close to the radar, straight line winds could be a part of that, but storm relative line. I mean, there's circulation still there. And look, when you look at this storm, very, very impressive on radar. I mean, this is a dangerous looking storm. It could be in the process of producing a new tornado warning coming. That's good. This makes sense because they're going to need a new one right through here. There it is. Confirmed tornado warning. All right. We may have been able to see that tornado earlier as it was over Pensacola. And then at this point, it's blatantly obvious, especially when you see that dip in CC Valley. So here's what we've got. This is interesting. We don't get to see this very often because storms aren't usually this close to the radar. What we've got right here, folks, is the straight line winds kicking up stuff out ahead of it, and then this is probably tornado. So the rear flank downdraft coming in on either side of the tornado, and then the tornado debris right there. So multiple areas of debris or just random stuff getting kicked up. Central City in your safe spot now. All right, we said it earlier, we're going to say it again. In your safe spot right now. This thing is producing a tornado right at this moment, we think. And regardless of whether it's a tornado or straight line winds, we know those winds are moving very, very strong. Again, take a look here. These brightest pixels indicating 75. I'll bet there's 77, so 70 to 80 mile per hour winds at the very least. But there is circulation right there. And again, we've been getting a debris signature, which is right now right there. Okay? There's our debris signature between Fort Chaffee and Central City. Okay? Now, let's do a track on this one. All right? And from the area of greatest concern right there where the rotation is, again, moving off to the east-northeast, I want to make sure I get this right. Okay? East-northeast, just northeast. Yeah, just northeast. All right. All right. What was the speed again, William?
To the northeast at 60 miles per hour.
60. Okay, pretty fast. This thing is booking it. It's going to be in Ozark and Lavaca before you know it. Lavaca, let's get in our safe spot right now. This thing's moving real fast. All right, so Lavaca in our safe spot as well. Try that again. There we go. You said 60? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to do a number of different things at the same time here. All right, Mulberry at 813. What was that, Greg? Okay, Carol, Matt, we'll go back to the. So Mulberry at 813, Ozark 822, Denning 825.
Lowering on the stream in Central City.
Okay, let's go to him.
Do you want to change your batteries? They got your new batteries here.
All right. Oh, they do? Okay. Well, yeah. 1 second here. So he's at, okay. Yeah, this is what it looks like where Damon's at right now. And yeah, he's coming in right behind the circulation. He's coming in right behind the circulation. I'm going to switch out batteries. William, come on over here so I can talk a little bit over, if that's all right with you. All right. So getting dark out there, hard to see. Really kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Darby, real quick, we're seeing a huge number of power outages, an uptick, 31,000 by Ozark Electrics, 22,000 of them just in Washington County alone. Arkansas Valley Co-op, 3,300, 2,700 of those in Crawford County, and then another 500 in Benton County by Carroll Electric. So we're looking at close to 40,000 power outages just in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley right now. Back to you.
Yeah. All right. We've got a new tornado warning. This one's for Huntsville. Let's go back. We lost Damon's feed, and so I'll keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on it. But whether it be from the storm or from just maybe being outside of cell signal, we can't see Damon's feed right now. So we'll go back to this right over Huntsville. And it looks like we've got a new little area of debris. So watch this. Not seeing much right through here, Hartwell to Harmony to Huntsville. And then right there, pops up. And it pops up right where the circulation is. That's a new tornado on the ground. So we've got a new tornado on the ground coming into the area just a little bit northwest and north of downtown Huntsville. All right, this is going to cross 412, an area that's gotten hit so hard, 412 in general, but that's going to cross 412 here pretty quick. All right, let's do a storm track on this one because at this point it's pretty clear that. And how fast is this one in Madison County moving?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
East at 60 miles per hour.
East at 60. So they're all, okay, all of these storms are moving really, really quick. So we did the storm track in the River Valley here a moment ago. Let's do one for this one too. 60 miles per hour, east-northeast. All right, so Green Forest, the only one that shows up right there. But we can pull up. All right, Dean, as you can see, Alabama at 803. Dean, whoop. Try that again. Kind of went down. Try that again. There we go. Metalton at 813. Dry Fork 814. Kavanaugh, Rudd, Gobbler, Connor, Green Forest 822. So yes, absolutely, quite a few areas kind of in the path of all this. All right. So still, let's not. Yeah. All right. So. All right. Now this, I believe, this might be from, where is that? Okay, that's from Fort Smith. Okay. All right, we'll come back to that. All right, again, a confirmed tornado on the ground around Lavaca. And you know, when you look at this from radar, it gives a clear indication that we still have really, really intense straight line winds. Look at that. Throughout this entire stretch right here, the winds are just booking out of the storm. So mainly seems to be a straight line, has kind of morphed in. Let's pull up and you can see right along the edge of that. Look at that. That's a little bit of debris getting picked up. It could be a number of different things. But now they've changed it. Yeah, they've changed it from a confirmed tornado warning to a regular tornado warning based off of that evidence, and that makes sense. Okay, but still very, very intense winds right here around Lavaca. We still, let's just be in our safe spot, right? This thing could uproot a lot of trees in this area, and better off being in your safe spot, right? So let's be in our safe spot still. Lavaca over to Beverly, Vesta, Charleston as well, all included in this tornado warning, up to Island, over to Cecil, Peter Pender. Very intense straight line winds in through here. All right. So yeah, again, this is probably the most intense storm that we have right now on radar. It's going to continue to push through Ozark, and we're going to get another round coming back into Fort Smith. Here's Fort Smith. Let's put this in motion. We're going to get another round coming into Fort Smith. And that's going to drop a lot more rain. And so with the next round coming, they've issued a new flash flood warning there to the southwest of Fort Smith. With this next round of heavy rain coming into Fort Smith, they're probably going to need to issue a flash flood warning for Fort Smith too here before too terribly long. So that's likely, very likely coming. Okay, very likely coming. All right, let's take another look at the Huntsville area. I want to come back up to that. Still have that circulation, and not necessarily a tornado debris signature right now, but still very strong winds at the very least. Let's go back up to, again, the other tornado warned storm here. Right, coming into Alabama right now. Do we still have a tornado debris signature? We had one just northwest of Huntsville earlier. That's kind of gone away. Now we're getting a little bit closer to Springfield. Let's pull that radar up. It doesn't show any clear debris signature. Still have the circulation. A lot going on there. Has Jeff and Jim gotten any closer to that damage on the south side of Fayetteville?
They're on 5th Street up to school. I told them to go to Baum Walker, so they're working on it, but that's where they're at right now.
South and southeast of Baum Walker.
South, southeast of Baum Walker. That's what I told them.
Is that
but
where
But right now they're saying they're not seeing anything on 5th Street up to school, so I guess they're still.
They're going to have to go farther south for sure. Mm-hmm. It'll be south of that. It's closer to Greenland, really. Let's see here. So a lot of rain all across here. We don't have any flat. It doesn't look like anyway. Let me take a look here. Switch it over to that. Looks like the only flash flood warnings that we have right now are in southwest Missouri and east Oklahoma, south of Stigler. Those are the only flash flood warnings we've got. So we've had a lot of rain, but those are the only two. We've got these two tornado warned storms right here. One that's coming into Carroll County, the other one that's coming toward Ozark. We'll go back to the one around Ozark again. This is, so Cecil over to Peter Pender. Let's get in our safe spot. We've got a little bit more time in Ozark to work with. Okay, we can work with just a little bit more time there. But yeah, I mean, it's still, again, judging by what we're seeing right here, still all straight line winds. All right. Are you
of the jail on School Street, so he's closing in on Greenland. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he's not seeing anything yet.
Okay.
So I think he should keep going towards Drake Field because
this is Damon's last shot that we got from and Damon's shot is kind of coming in, coming out. It's he's in an area where the problem is the cell signal. I'm sure is the issue. But there we go. Now we're seeing a little bit better. Damon is just south of Lavaca. He's out ahead of this. We'll get a good, wow, look at that. Look how dark that is. That's incredible. But again, it's just going to kind of go in and go out. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to it. Here's Jim and Jeff. South side of Fayetteville. Their exact location, I can pick them up here. It's not updating. Well, no, I think it might. Looks like he's coming up on Highway 16 there. It's hard to tell. They're gonna have to go much farther south of that. They won't see anything in that area. Okay.
On it towards Greenland. They said they're on their way to Drake.
Okay. Yeah. If they go toward Drake Field and then kind of
Highway 71. I don't know what road they're on right now.
I mean, the southeast side of Fayetteville.
Yeah, they said they're on school, so that should take them directly to.
Well, they'll go down Drake Field's south of Fayetteville, South Fayetteville, but if they can get over toward the corner of Dead Horse Mountain Road and Black Oak Road. Dead Horse. Could you give them that location?
Yeah, Dead Horse Mountain Road. And
Dead Horse Mountain Road, South Dead Horse Mountain Road, and South Black Oak Road. That's really where they kind of want to go. That southeast side of town right there. This storm is really kind of both storms. I'm going to head back over the green screen here. Okay, so there is some flooding in downtown Fort Smith.
Water rescue ongoing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so water rescue is now on.
County, it's by the Fort Smith Police Department. Several flooding issues in downtown Fort Smith. Water rescue ongoing.
Water rescue ongoing. Okay, yeah. So they haven't issued a new flash flood warning yet, for Fort Smith, but that's obviously needed. We've got swiftwater rescues going on right now, and unfortunately both of our cameras in Fort Smith got knocked down. Now what we can show you is we could probably show you the RDOT camera. We can probably show you the RDOT cameras. But you know, the storm as it comes toward Ozark, still intense, but still not. And there's a good reason they changed this from, well, it was a confirmed tornado warning, but it's really not anymore. Now it's a regular tornado warning because we can't say for sure at this moment there's a tornado on the ground as this comes into Franklin County, but. Definitely still has potential to produce another quick tornado at any moment, and so we'll just have to keep watching that. Put this in motion here for you, and again, you can see moving off to the east-northeast, through Franklin County right here, and then here's more rain coming into Fort Smith as we were just talking about, and that will be a significant problem for Fort Smith. Yes.
Highway 9, flooding unpassable in front of City Hall.
Highway
Street
9.
crews are closing the highway at this time near Arcoma. Highway 9, flooding unpassable in front of City Hall. Street crews are closing the highway at this time.
At Arcoma. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and again, with more rain coming in. So Arcoma also having serious problems right now. All right, let's go back to the circulation we had in Madison County. Again, it's not really the same thing. But we still have that spin right there. Now, do we still have a debris signature? This is, if there is one, it's right there at the corner of Carroll and Madison County. A little bit. I mean, it's just, but now let's go to our Springfield radar. That might give us. It is a little closer to that point, but yeah, we still have it. I mean, we still have it. Again, it's no longer they've changed it to the red box, so no longer a confirmed tornado on the ground. But there it is. That's our circulation. Okay. So it's now starting to exit Madison County into Carroll County between Metalliton, Gobbler, Dry Fork, and Dean. We need to be in our safe spot. Coming toward Connor, need to be in the safe spot right now. That may be a debris signature. It certainly is in the right spot. It's hard to tell. That may be a debris. This thing's been producing tornado after tornado after tornado, and that might just be a new one that's formed. You know, it's really very far away from a lot of our radars. We can. Yeah, it sounds like we've got some new information from Brandon and Allison. What's up, guys?
You feel like you have the ability to take some pictures safely, of course. That helps us see what you're seeing out there, especially after the storms have moved through, as we can try to assess what type of damage there is.
And Darby, where do you have Chip Scarborough and the 4029 Storm Tracker headed at this time?
It sounds like we're going to have them send it to Greenland.
Where we did see some damage in a tornado.
Where we did. We had damage from a tornado. Getting some interesting pictures here. This is from, I'm going to show you this right here. This is from Greenland area, or I'm sorry, the Barling area. And we can see, if you follow my cursor right here, this is on our local page. That may be right there, looking to the south toward the tornado that we were seeing earlier too around Pensacola, moving south of Fort Smith. So that might be it right there. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Kind of in the distance right there. You know, you go through time here, and winds kind of pick up as time goes on, and wow, this, again, and then it starts to kind of cut out a little bit, but very intense stuff here. This was looking southeast from Barling, and you can see those winds really picking up. Just kind of speeding through time a little bit here. Don't want to miss too much, but and the storm starts to calm down maybe a little bit at that point.
Darby, do you know how many confirmed tornadoes we've had at this point?
I don't know. There's no way, but at least 5 or 6, maybe 7. And we're looking at some other, a lot of flooding videos coming in for sure. Getting some damage videos too, and getting some videos like this right here that have been coming into our uLocal page, and you can see the way the clouds are moving right there. That is concerning, obviously. This, I believe, Pecola. Yeah, this is at Pecola from earlier as it came in. And then we've got some pictures that William alerted me to. And let me see if I can show that. One second here. One moment. Here it is. All right, so this is from Greenland, right, William?
Yes, that's at the Arkansas Air Museum.
All right, and we can zoom in a little bit here. Arkansas Air Museum, clearly some buildings blown over. Okay, this is in Greenland. And emergency vehicles there. All right. From this storm right here that's now in the green forest, they're issuing new tornado warnings for it. We got to go back to Ozark, and we'll show you some more pictures and video a little bit later on, because we are getting more coming in. All right, I'm going to step back in front of the green screen. Well, there might be something new happening right there around Peter Pender. That might be something going on right there. Certainly looks like it. A new little area of circulation. All right, so Peter Pender. Something seems to be right on your doorstep right there. A little bit of a localized uptick. I would say that could be a tornado. And this will come between Peter Pender and Etna around Meg. That looks very suspicious right there. So let's, again, make sure we're in our safe spot there. Ozark, I would say it'd be wise to get into your safe spot too. Over to Altus and Denning. Good idea to get in your safe spot. The storm's approaching. It doesn't have quite the same organization that we had with it earlier, but still a fairly impressive storm. Still a fairly impressive storm. And there's the flash flood warning right here for, let's see if we can pull that up. There it is. New flash flood warning goes till 11:15 p.m. And as we were talking about earlier, we've got a swiftwater rescue already ongoing in the River Valley. Arcoma is having a lot of issues right now with flash flooding. We've been getting a lot of pictures and video, Northwest Arkansas too, actually, of some of the flooding that's ongoing there as well. So, we're seeing this all over the area. And we're still watching these storms coming into Leflore County. No new tornado warnings with them. New little cell right here that could be very problematic as time goes on. Anytime you get a new cell developing ahead of the main line in an environment like this, especially a cell that size, it's starting to grow a little bit. That could be, more of an issue farther down the road as it comes into Mina and Waldron area. It's definitely producing some hail already, which is why they're warning it. It wouldn't be for the wind; it'd be for the hail. So that's something we'll keep an eye on. Okay. Okay, yeah, that area of circulation right there around Peter Pender, it lines up perfectly with a debris signature. Okay, that may be a new tornado on the ground. Let's go back in time a little bit here. Yeah, I mean it's consolidated a little bit. A little bit of that is probably from the straight line winds, but some of it is definitely from at least some circulation right there. And we still have plenty of circulation with this storm in Carroll County. Springfield radar kind of struggling a little bit with that one for some reason. But that's still a concerning storm south of Green Forest. Good news for northwest Arkansas. I mean, I don't know. Have we looked at the latest? Do we still have Jeff and Jim's signal? It doesn't look like we do. Looks like we still have theirs.
Yeah, they're at the Riverwalk subdivision off Horse Mountain Road.
Okay.
There's no power there.
All right. Yeah, we're losing their signal every once in a while. And we're losing Damon still every once in a while, too. But Damon's still following along. He's still following along. It's just with this storm that's in Franklin County. It's just that, it's a rural area, and so the signal's kind of going down every once in a while. Now we can't see much. We'll get off that shot. All right. Okay, so yep, we still have the tornado warning for Franklin County. Let's go ahead. Go back to that. That's pretty much our main concern at this point. The tornado warning storm is pushed out of our viewing area. There in northwest Arkansas, now coming into North Arkansas. And these are kind of our biggest priority right now, these storms right here, as they move through the River Valley, Franklin County, coming into Ozark. Tornado warning still, and this thing has produced a few tornadoes, we think. And I think it may be still doing so right there. I mean, we've got a debris signature. And it could be pure straight line winds, or it could be occasional tornado kind of developing there. Did they do away with that tornado warning? It looks like we may see this go away here pretty soon. This goes till 8:30. They haven't issued a new tornado warning. And I think they're gonna, I don't know, we'll see, but there's still a signature there that's concerning. and not getting less concerning necessarily. Right around Meg. Look, around Meg, over to Denning, over to Altus, Ozark as well, but especially just south of Ozark. Let's get in our storm shelters. We may have a tornado on the ground right now. It doesn't. Are they talking about this one in Franklin County? This would be still Tulsa, because I tell you, it still looks like it's got something to it. They haven't issued a new tornado warning on it yet, but it still has potential. Yeah, that's what they're saying. I mean, there's two little areas there, but there's two little areas that start. Let's stay in our safe spot. Ozark, over to Altus, Denning, Meg, Etna, Vesta, Beverly, Lavaca, Barling. We're Charleston. We're all free and clear of the tornado risk. We still have some strong winds. We still have some very intense rain, and quite clearly a lot of lightning too. There's some hail getting mixed in there occasionally. All right. So, and again, these new cells developing south of LeFlore County becoming more of a concern too.
So they've dropped the warning there. The
Yeah,
tornado warning.
they dropped the warning, but golly, if anything, this thing's showing more signs. What was that again?
All right, new tornado warning is going to come.
All right, yeah. I kind of thought that would be necessary. So they are going to issue a new tornado warning.
Right for around Meg.
Right around Meg, yeah. Okay. I mean, that may not amount to anything, but I mean, we've already been getting a signature on there that you could make a case was purely straight line wind related, but you could also make a case was a little kind of a smaller tornado right in that vicinity, and then that the debris signature comes back up again. Is that right in the vicinity of the? It is. It's still right in the vicinity of the circulation with the drop in values. So look, this is coming toward. This is a different Greenwood. This is Greenwood in Franklin County, far eastern Franklin County, but Altus Denning area. Whitaker Village coming right for you. Let's stay in our safe spot there. Bulk of the concern to the south of Ozark, but there's some other stuff going on closer to Ozark. There's a second area of circulation here. Not as significant, but there's still a second area around coming into Ozark. So let's be in our safe spot in Ozark as well. We've had many, many tornadoes this evening, and we've done our best to look at all these tornadoes with as many different cameras as we can, and we're panning around. We're in an area now where they're far away from our cameras, but this is coming up on I-49, so that we might be able to see something. Oh, wow. Who is again? Chip. And where's it at again? Outside Drake Field. Chip is at what we think is either a bad accident or it may be from the tornado. Chip, can you hear me?
Yes, Darby, I can hear you right now. We have just pulled up to a scene where we see several emergency vehicles. It is very dark out here. It's tough to make out exactly what's going on because it is still raining. The streets are wet and it's sort of creating a glare, so it makes it tough to kind of comprehend and process what's going on. But the traffic is kind of backed up here, so we're not able to get right up to exactly what's going on. But we see a fire truck kind of blocking the road. We see some other emergency vehicles up ahead there. like you said, can't tell if it's an accident or something more. We're working to find that out. I can tell you I spoke with the communications director for Washington County, Tad Sowers. He tells me he's gotten in a number of damage reports tonight from places like West Fork, Lincoln, South Fayetteville, and Greenland, where we are right now. So obviously this is one of the areas of concern for first responders tonight. It does seem quite dark here, like the power is probably out in this area, and very tough for cars to get through. Some are turning around and going back the other way. We're waiting here to try to get closer to tell you what's going on, but as you can see just in that lane to the left of us there, the cars are really starting to back up, and you can see the brake lights there, and it is still raining pretty steadily as those wipers are moving back and forth there. So as we can learn more, we'll certainly let you know, but Drake Field is just behind us a little way to give you some perspective
Are you a little bit
of where we
north
are, and there's a Dollar General store. I would say we're a little bit south of Drake Field based on where we are right now. I think I have my geography correct. Yes, our car says we are headed southbound, so we would be just a little south of Drake Field to give you some perspective.
Okay. So this is coming into Greenland, just a little bit south of Drake Field is exactly where we saw the circulation cross I-49. We could see what appeared to be the tornado as it was crossing I-49. Chip, my guess is the reason, and I don't know if you know more than I do from talking to whoever you've been talking to in that area, but my guess is the reason that you're in standstill traffic has probably got a lot to do with debris over the road. Do you think that's a possibility? Are you seeing anything around you right now?
And Darby, as I'm talking to you, there is something in the road. I can't tell if it's debris or if it's a car flipped over or what it is, but I see first responders kind of zeroing in on an object in the road in the northbound lanes, the far right lane of the northbound lanes, but we are a little too far away to tell exactly what it is. As I look more at it, I'm wondering if it's a car that is flipped over or turned on its side, but I'm just not close enough to say with certainty. But some sort of object is in the road blocking traffic, and I see a number of first responders hovered around it. There are cones in the roads. That is clearly what they're most concerned with at this hour, but we're trying to get into the left lane here, as you can see now, going southbound, so we can maybe get a little closer, but I'm not sure how close we're going to get because the first responders are keeping everybody back pretty far away.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so we've got Todd, our producer, Chip, just telling us we've got 23,000 folks without power in Washington County. 23,000. I'm guessing a lot of those from around Cane Hill, south of Prairie Grove, just south side of Fayetteville, just south of Fayetteville, Greenland, not Greenwood, but Greenland area. And now we've got this circulation right here over Ozark. And, no good visual right there, though we do. I mean, look, I can pull up our I-40 camera here. We've got one at Ozark. And here's what it looked like. Oh, geez. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, that's what it looks like from Ozark right now. The heavy rain, the lightning, the wind blowing through right here. Not too many people on the interstate, which is nice to see. But quite a lot going on right there, isn't it? And luckily not too many people out. I like to see that. That's always wonderful. Not too many people out and about. Just a few folks. In this vicinity right here that we're looking, and the area where we're looking is boy, that's just not working. There we go. Okay. The area we were looking just now was right in here. And that's not really a vicinity where we've got a lot of circulation. The area that we do is the bulk of it has been just south of Ozark, and now that's starting to go away. So that uptick that we were seeing in the circulation right before they issued the new tornado warning has gone away. And so now at this point, you get the impression there's no longer as much potential for another tornado. Which is why I'm sure, because here's what we've got going on right now, folks. So here's our tornado warning. This is Johnson County, this is Franklin County. Here's Logan, and they're kind of cutting it down, just that little spot. National Weather Service in Tulsa, they cover Franklin, Madison, Sebastian County up to the northwest. National Weather Service in Little Rock, they cover Johnson, Logan, Scott counties. And so it's up to the, it's up to the National Weather Service in Little Rock to issue a new tornado warning for Johnson County if they deem it necessary. And at this point, they're thinking, all right, let's just let it ride for right now. The only circulation is here in Franklin County. It hasn't even come into Johnson County, and it looks like it's starting to weaken and go away. And so that's why we haven't seen a new tornado warning get issued. Now, if we start to see the spin up in the storm start to really strengthen, if we start seeing better signals of a tornado on the ground, then we'll probably get a new tornado warning for Johnson County. But it doesn't make sense to issue a new tornado warning for Johnson County if you think the current circulation that you've been tracking is weakening or dying out or even just totally died out, which may be the case right now. So it's kind of a wait and see situation here for Johnson County. Will we get another tornado warning for you? Hard to say. You know, if it continues to look like this right here, where we don't have a whole lot of circulation, then there won't be any need for another tornado warning. A severe thunderstorm warning, sure, because the winds in here are still gusting pretty strong. Radar still estimating, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. So it's still, but not seeing the circulation that we had earlier. Take a look. I'm going to take you back in time when we were seeing that circulation right there, right before the warning was about to expire, and we were thinking, well, maybe they need another tornado warning for that. And still kind of going, and also we were seeing in here the drop in CC values, and then right there, looks like maybe debris got issued another tornado warning, but and there it is again, more debris right there as it went over Meg. 1 second, Todd. And then, all right, now it's gone away, right? Still had it up through about here, but now it started to go away. And then in combination with the fact that we don't have anywhere near as much circulation anymore, tells me that they're probably not going to issue another tornado warning on this storm. And they may even cancel the current one. This right here.
I went through that one.
No.
Keep going.
Keep going. Got that.
Almost there. Wow. This one.
Yes, we were looking at that one earlier. We were looking at that one earlier for a while. There's several in here that look like. Did you look over this one?
Yes.
Okay. There's
that one's another one. It was too.
It's pretty fuzzy.
The glare, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see much.
I didn't see anything with Prairie Grove.
Yeah, the Prairie Grove one. Yeah, it's hard to. There might be something in there. We're looking at all these videos, pictures, all these different things. This is one from Don Arnold in the Kibler Bottoms. And really pretty impressive. There might be, it certainly looks like there's a funnel right here. All right, and this is looking to the south toward an area that looked like we had a tornado. So that might be a tornado right there. I think the odds seem to favor it in my mind. So that's one look right there. Let's take you back. Let's see here. And we're looking at others here too. Okay, there's another one over here. This one also looks impressive, and this one's Fort Smith overlooking Hackett, Poteau Mountain. So again, looking at the same area. Really, this is just a little bit earlier. This would have been earlier with this storm, but as it came in, my goodness, the lightning with it, incredible. But clear tornado? No, not necessarily in here. Wouldn't say there's a clear tornado right there, but pretty impressive video on our uLocal page, and getting other pictures of damage. And we'll keep looking through those. But I do want to get back to radar here. What we've got going on farther to the southeast here. If we can get that. Oh, there we go. Over Leflore County. This storm has intensified a little bit. We've seen the reflectivity come up a little bit here. And that's coming toward Heavener. That's probably got a little bit of hail with it. Now, looking inside the storm, are we seeing any areas of rotation? Maybe. Oh, golly, it's hard to tell. Take the warning data off. There is a little bit of spin up in there, in a few different spots, actually. There's an update. Right now, the two areas I'm kind of seeing here is right in through here in general, and then really right in through here. That's something to watch. So those are going to be areas we'll just have to keep kind of coming back to every once in a while. Put this in motion. Yeah, that thing looks like it's organizing over Leflore County as it comes into Scott County. That really does look like it's organizing a little bit. The one over Franklin County, not so much. Not so much. As this comes into Clarksville, it definitely will have some wind potential with it. Let's put the warnings back on. And so they've opted to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson and northern Logan County for the straight line winds, but not getting a new tornado warning from the National Weather Service in Little Rock for Johnson County. That is good news. They're seeing what we're seeing, which is a storm that briefly toward the end of the last tornado warning was showing signs of producing another tornado, and then that just kind of petered out. And now it's a straight line wind risk entirely again. So that's really what I think we've got here. We've still got technically the tornado warning going in Franklin County, but around Altus and Ozark, Clarksville area, coming into Coal Hill right now, and about to come into Clarksville. They just did, it looks like. Yeah, and that's wise. I mean, it cropped back up again, and then it just went away. I mean, and that'll happen, but it's very outflow dominant at this point. There's really no circulation whatsoever to it. This will be coming into Clarksville pretty soon. What's the speed on that Johnson County storm?
Hold on one second. Northeast at 55 miles per hour.
55, okay. So let's do a track from this right through here. All right, so it's coming into Coal Hill right now, really. Hartman 854, Paris 854, Subiaco 901, Scranton 903, Clarksville 903. So really pretty quick. I mean, here in about 10 minutes. 10-15 minutes it'll be in Clarksville. Lamar shortly after that. Knoxville shortly after that. London around 9:25. And then Dover 9:30. So then it's out of the viewing area by that point. All right, so at this point, we've actually got no tornado warnings for any part of the area. We do have this severe thunderstorm warning, again, for Altus, Ozark area. The winds being estimated in here around 50, 60 miles per hour. So that's pretty much what we're worried about, just the straight line winds, and they're not excessively strong. We do still have, watching for that, whatever's going on here around Heavener, which we don't think there's no immediate tornado risk. It doesn't look to me, but there is circulation within that storm. I mean, it's got spin to it, but I wonder what it looks like from Tulsa here. A little different perspective. No, not too different. But the winds in this thing still very, very intense. I mean, radar's still estimating some pretty strong winds in northern LaFleur County. Coming back into Pensacola. Pensacola, here's round number 2 for you. It seems like a lot of folks, maybe not everybody, but it seems like most folks in the area are getting 2 rounds out of this. 2 pretty hefty rounds. I'd say about, 60% of the viewing area will get 2 pretty strong rounds of storms. So not everybody, but definitely a lot of people. Now, what is going on with this right here around Staff?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Ooh, buddy. Yeah, this storm's been trying to organize. The new tornado warning is probably going to be needed right there. No drop in CC values. It's organizing right there, though. It really is. A little drop in reflectivity. The storm's trying to organize. In fact, if we take a look at this, okay,
Wow.
Look up a little bit, and you can see that circulation's been developing for a little bit now. Ooh, but are they talking about this, National Weather Service, William?
No, not yet.
Not yet. That thing may prompt another tornado warning. Here's what it looks like again at Ozark. Looks like we've got a vehicle that's maybe just, no, it's just moving slow. All right, sounds like while we wait to see if we get another tornado warning on the storm in LaFleur County, it sounds like Brett Rains has got an update for us. Is he in Fort Smith right now?
We may get woke up to sirens. We may get woke up to the house cracking. So essentially what this man is going on about that I turned you guys on in the middle of is there is a possibility of a second round of all this crap coming through. But as of right now, the first round is over. We're good to go. We're safe on the first round. Hopefully you guys see, just what it's like to be living in Arkansas in the middle of May, living in the middle of fucking Tornado Alley. Like, the damages that they showed on 4029, those are pretty significant. And I'm hoping that everybody is safe. If you are, if that was you and your property did get damaged, I'm sorry. It sucks. But, I'm praying that everybody's safe. For now, this is the only update I've got for you guys. And we'll what were you going to say?
I'm going to say the fun part's going to be tomorrow when we're trying to get the truck out of the backyard.
That's going to be a video in and of itself. But I will update you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye-bye. morning, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the latest video. I know it's long. I know, I'm sorry. There was a lot in this one, a lot of weather footage, but I felt that it was important to bring it to you guys. To all those people that did get hit by the storm and by the tornado, I hope you guys are safe. I hope everyone is okay. I hope that, you know, it was minor damage and nothing important was lost. But this is where this video is going to end off. We're okay down here in Alma. Everything's fine. We just got a lot of wind and a lot of rain. Some very severe thunderstorms. Jared's truck is okay. I'll let you guys see that. His truck is fine. It survived. But this is where this video is going to end, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, much love, and don't forget, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave me a comment down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.